So, what's up?
Oh, well, I hear someone saw a movie recently.
Yeah, I saw the new Matrix today, which as of the day of our recording, not to date this or anything, it did come out today, right?
Mm-hmm,
hmm
mm-hmm.
And I pretty much watched it the second I got up today. I watched it as soon as I could, and I was talking
Hopped
with
up out of
y'all.
bed, turned Matrix on.
Yeah, pretty much the wake and bake, but for going and seeing the new Wachowski Matrix sequel, there was no baking involved on this particular Matrix
You wanted to
viewing,
see
but
you
the
wanted to see this
allegory
one stone
stands.
cold. You wanted to see this one stone cold sober. Needed to let it
Well,
all.
yes, because when I watched Reloaded for the first time last year, I was pretty well cooked. And I think that particular state of mind led me to not being able to appreciate how methodical that movie is.
Mm.
Because it's much slower paced than the original, and it's much headier in terms of its philosophical themes. But the roundabout conversation I was getting to was that I loved it. I thought it was incredible, like just a truly fantastic movie. But I think that what I was saying is that I think that if you are not accustomed to the way that the Matrix sequels tell their stories and sort of the charms and major points of affection that people have for those films, I said
Mm-hmm.
that I think watching this new one is going to ball you up and crush you like a grape because it is a movie which much like, and I don't want to spoil anything too much because there may be people who still haven't seen it by the time this comes out, but it is a movie which, just like the sequels, like Reloaded and Revolutions, a movie that dives way more into the ideas behind the world of the Matrix, the sort of world building and texture about the world of the Matrix, the large reverberating consequences of Neo,
Mm.
as the chosen one, and what that means for the people around him, and sort of his arc as a character, and what it means to have all these characters that have a stake in this conflict, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Reloaded and Revolutions in that sense are a really big departure of tone from the original movie, and I think that's
Mm.
why people were so weird about them when they first came out, because they are very much movies that are constantly actively pushing against audience expectations for what one of these movies is going to be.
Sure,
And
sure.
the new movie does that exact same thing, but folding it on top of the bucked expectations of Reloaded and Revolutions,
It's
right?
like like a Japanese swordsman like folding his steel
Yeah,
hundreds of times over
absolutely,
to forge the
absolutely.
world's sharpest katana.
Like Resurrections is nothing like what you would expect to be a follow-up to Reloaded and Revolutions, but those movies are also not at all what you would expect to be a follow-up to the original Matrix, right?
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
So as long as you know that going in and you have that context, I do think it is a movie that you can enjoy if you just watch it without having seen the other two. Like, you at least need to have seen the first one. This is not a movie that you can go into knowing nothing about the Matrix and still get something out of it. Like,
Right.
it is a movie which is actively commentating on the sort of culture around reboots and unnecessary sequels, and what it sort of takes to make a movie in Hollywood in this
Mm.
day and age. Like, it's really interesting because it's meta reflexively commentating on that about itself.
Interesting.
Like in this movie, the Matrix is a thing. Like, the property the Matrix is a thing that exists, and the
What?
movie addresses that, and it addresses like societal response to the Matrix. It metatextually references the response to the sequels, and like how this one itself is responding to the sequels as it's responding to the sequels. It's
What the
very
fuck?
It gives you a lot to chew on. It is completely unlike any other blockbuster movie like since the Matrix sequels. Like they are just still coming out here and just fucking banging it with these movies, and like how these are not like, you know, empty blockbusters that you just go and you cheer at Neo doing karate kicks. Like, these are movies that want you to think about their broader implications. And in that sense, I think this one delivers in an absolutely fantastic sense. I loved it.
Are the karate kicks still dope as fuck, though?
Yeah. All the action sequences are pretty good.
Yeah.
I think at times it almost wants to like deconstruct the idea of a Matrix action scene, but I don't know if it ever really gets there. It's interesting. The editing style is very different. It's much more chaotic than the fight editing in the prior films, but I think that's intentional to kind of serve a point about like this more fragmented narrative that they're offering in this movie. But who can say? Who can say?
The reason that I wanted specifically to turn the mics on for this is because you mentioned that if you do not have the prior experience of how the previous sequels like told their stories, this one will crush your brain like a grape. And I don't know, maybe we say this for after the intro, but I also kind of wanted to, like, before we get into the episode proper, I kind of wanted to like dissect a little bit, because that's exactly what happened to me when I watched Saw 3D for the first time for this podcast before I watched anything else. Like,
totally.
I kind of wanted to do like a 4-year late postmortem about that episode before we get into the episode proper here, because like, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't remember too much about that episode because it's been like 3 or 4 years. But
I thought about re-listening to it, but I was like, do I really want to hear myself from that long ago?
Right, like that would have been like your voice pre-testosterone. Like, my voice hasn't changed in like 5 years. Like,
how stupid am I? You know?
Yeah, totally.
God, I'm 4 years smarter now than I was. I was doing this podcast when I was 23. What the fuck? That's
4 years.
Unlistenable radio.
4 years of baked in Saw 3D appreciation, just in there percolating. I've listened to a good chunk of y'all's episodes from the past, just going through and looking for movies, you know, I've seen or I want to hear more about. But
and Saw 3D was one of them.
Saw 3D was actually not one of them. I haven't listened to y'all's episode on this. I think because I wanted to watch the movies before I listened to it, and then by the time I was watching the movies, I myself was already like, holy shit, these are incredible, and I just kind of focused all my interest into spreading it to other people, and I just kind of never got around to it.
For doing your diabolical nature could not be contained, and you decided to do Softember to us.
Yeah. And now we're doing, what is this, Home for the Sawlidays?
Yeah, Home for the Sawlidays.
Happy Sawlidays.
Happy Sawlidays.
I think it's really, really funny that of all the big horror movie franchises, like, they all have some level of continuity between them. Like, you know, there is like obviously like a bunch of them just have like conflicting continuity, like, you know, all the Halloweens all the Halloweens, Friday the 13th, etc. Like, they have really conflicting continuities because things are just going back in retcon. And Saw does this, but like, the holes that it fills in are holes that it does not like what it does is like there on two ends of a timeline there is just a gap, and what they do is they go in and fill that gap without giving you any information about either end of that timeline. Like traditionally a Halloween I keep saying Halloween, a horror movie retcon involves, like, you know, saying, oh no, it didn't happen like this, here's how it happened, start from a point and keep going. Because of like the inherently non-linear nature of the storytelling of the Saw franchise, you can't, like, they didn't really do that. And like the continuity that carries from movie to movie in this franchise is truly just absolutely like, of all the fucking movie franchises, like, you talk to someone on the street, you ask them, like, you give them a list of like, I don't know, 10 horror movie franchises, and you ask them what they think is like the 5 of them most likely to have actual continuity, and like none of them would say Saw. Like, I think to myself, I say this because this was true of myself as like someone who liked horror movies but was only like vaguely aware of the Saw franchises or the Saw franchise. I just kind of thought that it was just like Jigsaw is just having a laugh, killing some dudes for like an hour and a half, and it's like torture porn, and it's like, cool, I don't really want to watch that, but I'm glad it's existing. And then to find out it is this like labyrinthine, like, twisting
Cop
and
drama.
turning storyline that you have to watch from the start to even have a chance of understanding is really, really funny to me. Like, you can go out and watch, like, The Nun without having seen the Conjuring. I think that's the part of it. That's
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
like, hell, you can go out and watch The Conjuring 2 without having seen The Conjuring. I did that. I liked The Conjuring 2 without having seen The Conjuring 1. Like, and there was some continuity, but, like, they did their best to, like, catch me up a little bit. Saw does none of that, and I love it. It's my favorite. It's not my favorite horror movie franchise because Final Destination will always be unimpeachable, but it's, like, it's top 3 for sure.
Yeah, so I have a few points that I'd like to address here, and then maybe we can do the whole official intro.
Sure.
Point number one is that I think one of the reasons that people like this franchise and that it's so easy to come back to in this way is that Saw pretty much serves you up a charcuterie board of increasingly baffling narrative decisions that you just kind of like, get to like pick and choose and focus on in their own discrete ways throughout each of these films. I view it as sort of like the Grover House of horror cinema narratives, where it is this horrible, just awful, potentially deadly thing to behold, but at the same time, there is this alien sense of cohesion and thought behind it, where you yourself can't possibly grasp what could have led to something like, as in a formal sense, in terms of aesthetics, how something this disgusting could be allowed to happen. But
Right.
like, that there was somebody who had a plan, irregardless of the outer appearance. And the other thing I wanted to say is that when we talk about retcons in the context of this franchise, I think it's important to clarify that at no point does a retcon in Saw ever mean something was actually tangibly retconned. It is not a retcon in the sense that they are. It is not a retcon in the sense that they are going back and saying, "Oh, this didn't happen," or "Oh, this character is here now," or
Right,
"Oh,
they're
whatever."
not jumping back. They're not jumping back and saying John Kramer. Actually, what we said in Saw 2 was wrong.
Right.
John Kramer was actually caught right after the events of Saw 1, and then we're jumping 40 years later and doing and having two characters be a podcast about it.
Exactly. The retcons they make are never concessions to the audience. The retcons in this franchise do not exist for the audience's benefit, because at no point do they ever help establish the narrative in a way that would provide, new or different information about how the rules of a film work. It is literally them looking at like a bed of cobblestones and saying, "Okay, where can we fill in this gap? Where can we fill in this gap? Let's put some cement down here. What, you can walk over the cobblestones already? They don't need huge globs of concrete between them." No, I think they would look much better with huge globs of concrete between them. And
Yes.
I would say that Saw 3D is nothing if not a huge glob of narrative concrete. So why don't we go ahead and get into this one?
Yes, let's.
Welcome to Fearbaiting, everyone. It's your number one trans rights slasher villain podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Blair.
And we're joined by returning guest, September legend, podcast regular, Morgan.
Hello, it's me, your recurrent auditory parasite, here to tell you more about Tobin Bell and the Saw franchise. I hope you've been well. I've been great. I watched the new Matrix movie. That was pretty good. But hey,
Very cool. Very
yeah, we also watched Saw 3D, the 7th film in the Saw franchise.
It's so fucking like there were multiple people in the
how many people
post-game.
had this question? How many people had this question?
So, like, there were, like, 3 people in the post-Game of Thrones Discord server who were like, wait, Saw 3D is Saw 7?
Yeah, totally. I think that's why... I don't know...
You know what it is? It's 3 and then D, which, if you do the out letters to numbers, D is the 4th letter of the alphabet, so 3 plus 4 is 7. There we go. Right there.
Yeah, totally. I think, like... That's part of the reason why they renamed this to Saw the Final Chapter in some circles, because... I feel like after the point where it was in theaters or where they knew this was going to be the last one, they just said, yeah, fuck it, call it Final Chapter instead. I think Final Chapter... I don't know which one is stupider, right? Like, Saw 3D is technically more correct, but Saw Final Chapter is so hammy and pretentious in only the way a horror film sequel can be.
The thing is that, like, normally, like, a 3D being appended to the end of a title is, like, it's either indicative of the fact that it's the third in the trilogy, such as Spy Kids 3D, or it is just, like, the title would stand alone were it not for the 3D appended. Like, I think there was, like, a 3D release of the movie Piranha, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that was a huge thing that was happening for a bit, where they would just
or like
3D
My Bloody Valentine 3D, or I think was like, I think it like had 3D in the name or something. But like the thing is, neither of these are true about Saw. It is not neither of these are true about Saw 3D, because like if you lop the 3D off of My Bloody Valentine, you just get My Bloody Valentine.
My Bloody Valentine, yeah.
Yeah, but if you lop the 3D off of Saw 3D, you just get Saw, which is the first one.
Already a
film.
The first one. Yeah.
I think this movie should also have been named Saw, though.
How funny would it be if when they bring the Saw movies back, like not Jigsaw and not Spiral, if they did the whole minimalist horror rebrand thing and just called the new one Saw as well? So you'd have Saw 3D and Saw.
What if they did it like Microsoft and named it Saw 1?
Saw 1, that'd be pretty good. Saw X. I think if they come back, it would be Saw X, because they'd count...
if you count Spiral and Jigsaw, that does bring up to 8 and 9.
Well, the thing is that they already said Spiral is a separate thing. Like, Spiral is not Saw 9. It's something different.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's like this...
What does that even mean?
I don't know! Because the thing about Spiral is, no spoilers, but, like, it's not part of the direct Jigsaw continuity. Like... not to
cinematic universe.
Yeah, not to burn your toast, but I don't think Tobin Bell is in Spiral at all.
Fuck this.
I don't think
dead.
I think he may have had like a cameo or something, but he never like appears like. I mean,
he's barely in this one too, right?
He's
like,
barely in this one.
He shows up and looks like fucking Fred Durst in 50 years and then leaves.
The good news about this movie is that it led them to course correct, because he's actually in Jigsaw quite a bit more than he was in this film.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I don't like Tobin Bell's absence from this movie was sorely felt, because I was like, this entire like I think Hoffman is a very funny character to watch, but like making him the sole focus, like who else is focused on this movie? You've got Hoffman, Jill. You've got Jill, who like I do like, but Jill is also not in this movie all that much. Like she spends a lot of the time just like cooped up in the safe house.
Yeah, the best thing Jill does in this movie is get blown up into 4 discrete pieces.
So fun. But who like Hoffman just like sucks everything out of like, so Hoffman is the center of this movie, because like the Gibson, is that his name? I truly cannot remember.
I truly have no idea. I'll consult
the cop is like a void of charisma. Like Tobin Bell's barely in it. Jill is barely in it. Doesn't do much when she is. Like this entire movie rests on what's his name again? I can never remember it.
His name is indeed Gibson. Bobby Dagan is the self-help guy.
Yeah, Bobby Dagan. Right.
Yeah, Gibson is the cop.
I completely forgot about I completely forgot about the Saw trap part of this movie, because I don't give a shit about Bobby Dagan at all.
Yeah,
I actually kind of love that the whole like, I don't know. It's so stupid.
It's very petty. I think this movie has a lot of flaws, Sarah, as you were outlining. I think that there is a reason for that I can say up front, but I'll go through this bit first, is that narratively this movie doesn't have much to offer, right? It doesn't have the weird villain panache like 6 did. It doesn't have a good self-serious, like, stupid, campy cop narrative in it or anything. Like, the cop narrative is just really bad. I will say the guy who plays Gibson at no point ever acts like a real human being in this movie, which I think is kind of fun. But, like...
Safe house.
Yeah, but outside of that, the traps in this movie are, I would say 70% of them are just straight up Looney Tunes. I think that the movie is so ugly that it's just impossible to look away from. Like, this film looks like dog shit, and you can't quite put your finger on why, but it looks so nasty. It's this hyper-real digital filmmaking. But despite all of that, it comes together and is maybe not up there with the greats of this franchise, but is still a pretty fun watch, especially if you're kind of laughing at it with other people, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think the big flop about this movie is that, like, the traps are like. The traps are really Looney Tunes, but, like, not in a... Like, the traps in Saw 6 are really Looney Tunes in a really funny... In, like, a really enjoyable way. Like, in, like, a really, like, gory way. Like, the fucking shotgun carousel is, like comical. And the rack of injection needles that makes the guy dissolve from the inside out.
Yeah, totally. He turns into a grilled cheese.
He does. This movie's, like... The traps are very funny, but they're also just, like...
Yeah.
And then what? Like, there's no it feels like they build to, like, a grim finale, and then they don't, like, have a grim, like, a guy gets fucking, like, yanked on a noose by, like, he's fucking Billy the Puppet being yanked off screen.
I think some of these traps are so stupid they're really, really funny, and
I agree. That's how I feel about
but I want to be clear, I don't think that they're like bad. They're just like,
the tone is different. It's a
hard act to follow. Is the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it is. I think I said this, like, during the stream, but I do think this movie has some sort of, like, Final Destination-y vibes, like the way it is interested in destroying bodies.
Sure, yeah, this is the goriest Saw movie. There are, like, Danganronpa pussy pink entrails coming out of people, like, at every opportunity. There is
viscera about this blood looks.
Yeah, the blood is like this weird lipstick pink that it looks like the blood from Danganronpa. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
It's like desaturated Wes Anderson Danganronpa blood.
I really thought you were being like I really thought you were like
being hyperbolic.
When you, I thought you were being hyperbolic when you said that the first time, and then, like, the first drop of blood gets spilled. And oh my god! Is that
like these guts start spilling out. It's like fucking links of Oscar Mayer hot dogs coming out of this woman. So here's what I want to hit y'all with before we get into the discussion. This film is directed by the same director as Saw 6. His name, I believe, unless there is an accent on it, is pronounced Kevin Grutert. Maybe it's Grutert. I think I would like to assume there's a bit of a pronunciation on that one. So, well, listen. All right.
Anyways.
So our man Kevin directs Saw 6 in 2009. And absolutely knocks it out of the park. Like, magnum opus of the Saw franchise. So where do you go after somewhere like that? What do you do after kind of directing the best Saw film? For Kevin, the answer was to go up. And Kevin's offer to go up was to go straight to directing the sequel to one of the most financially lucrative horror films of all time, Paranormal Activity 2.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, the studio and Kevin's contract required him to stay behind and direct Saw 7.
Oh my god.
This man has gone on record saying that his time directing Saw 7 was one of the most miserable periods of his life. He fucking hates this movie, and he has said that he basically did not give a shit while making it. So
that is so interesting because you don't really feel. It doesn't feel like.
It doesn't feel like that. But I also like. I have to say, like, he obviously holds a lot of contempt for it in retrospect, but, like, how often in your life do you, as an adult with a job, do you get to just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna, like just be, like, the kind of mentality of, like, I'm getting a 68 on this paper, it'll be enough to pass, and I'm just gonna turn it in.
Like, I feel like that's true. I feel like it's kind of how it kind of has an appeal in that regard, and I think it really shows in places, right? I think especially in the scene with Jill and Gibson where they're in the safe house and it looks like they're being directed on a community theater hotel room set.
Yes,
it is. Yes. It looks disgusting. Like, the framing is awful. It looks horrible. So if this guy says that he didn't give a shit while making this movie, it definitely shows in places, but I think it kind of loops around to becoming a certain sort of camp at times.
I so agree.
Yeah.
Like, this movie has a lot of energy, you know?
Hoffman's line in that dream sequence, which we will get to, like, that is like the
all time
of that to me. But speaking of, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
Let's start off with the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil 1 Virus Lab Zoom In Saw recap we get of the events of the first film.
Yeah.
We have this, like, tiny... It's literally, if you've seen the first Resident Evil, exactly like it, where there is this tiny blue square that, like, it zooms in on to become a replay of the events of Saw 1, which then go on to establish a flashback where Dr. Gordon is crawling out of the Saw bathroom with his Hot Pocket-looking severed leg.
Has Cary Elwes has not been in this franchise since the first one, right? Like, he's just been completely absent?
He has been absent in physical presence. I think they've mentioned his name, like, twice, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think there is a scene where Jill Tuck drops an envelope through the door of his doctor's office, either in, I think in Saw 5, but definitely not in Saw 6 from what maybe, I don't know, but I think that happens at some point. Otherwise,
it's really funny that, like, his presence in this movie mirrors his presence in the franchise, where he shows up at the very beginning and then disappears until the very end.
Yeah.
He has one other scene in the middle, but, like, it's literally like the first scene in the movie that you see is Dr. Gordon. The last scene in the movie that you see is Dr. Gordon completely gone from the time between, excluding, like, one scene or a couple of mentions.
Yeah, it's really funny because when I watched this the first time, the twist with him at the end, which we'll get to, I just did not see coming somehow. Like, it felt really out of left field to me. But watching it now, it is, like, incredibly on the nose how they telegraph it in the beginning that he's going to be involved with this narrative. Like, starting the film, showing him crawling out of the Saw bathroom, you know, if they're favoring that over literally any other big flashback, then this is going to be kind of focused on him at some point.
Right. Mm-hmm. He crawls out of the bathroom and then cauterizes his leg wound.
Yeah. The leg looks
he just rams his Hot Pocket leg up against some boiling hot pipe and just, like, screams for a minute, and then we get the title. Is this when we get the title card?
I think so. Yeah,
Oh no, the title drop comes. The title drop comes after the unfortunate buzzsaw incident.
Yeah, I think we do get, like, a series of opening credits over this flashback.
Yeah,
though.
It just looks like it feels as though we are from the point of view of water rushing through a pipe, and then there's just, like, detritus in there that takes the shape of like studio credits.
Yeah, and I have to assume this was as a 3D gimmick, right? Because
absolutely, this definitely flew straight into the audience.
Being Saw 3D, one of my favorite pastimes in horror films is to watch horror films put in 3D and kind of try to pick up on all the moments that are just popping something out of the screen at you. I think my favorite one is Friday the 13th, Part 3, which is one of my favorites in the franchise because it has all these really campy 3D gags, like the part where Jason stabs through the guy and his eye pops out towards the screen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, these floating titles, you know, you see them in 3D, you go ooh ah. Ooh, director name. Did y'all see a lot of stuff in 3D when it was having its big, like, early 10s resurgence?
I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw Spy Kids 3D in 3D in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol in 3D.
Oh, I forgot that existed.
And I definitely saw some, like, I think I saw, like, I saw some, like, I saw some early, like, when you were still getting the red, blue glasses, I definitely saw something in 3D. Oh, I saw Avatar in 3D.
Yeah, I saw...
Oh, yeah, well, of course, yeah, same.
Avatar was, like, the one I remember because I went to go see it with my dad, and we felt like the movie just kept, like, going and going, and I was like...
It really does.
I was like, this 3D is giving me a headache, and he was like, yeah, we should just leave.
If you sit through the entirety of Avatar with the 3D glasses on without taking them off, you deserve some kind of medal.
Yeah, totally. But I think aside from that, I maybe saw a couple other things. Was one of the newer Star Trek movies put into 3D? Am I remembering that correctly?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Avatar.
The first one was like 2014, right?
Yeah. I really don't know. I know there's a few, but I just can't remember. Maybe it was like an animated Disney movie or something. But Avatar is the one I remember because that was one of the only movies I've ever walked out of in a theater. The other one, also with my very impatient father, was Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. For myself, the one that I mean, I've definitely seen more than just this in 3D, but the one that, I actually remember is Avatar. Just because I know I saw it.
Yeah.
So I must have seen it in 3D.
That's like the 3D movie.
Right.
Like 15, 20 years from now, that movie is going to be like Tin's camp, essentially. People are going to look back on that and be like, oh, remember fucking Avatar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. But honestly, it's like, since I have this personality trait that when anything becomes like associated with popular media,
oh sure,
I tend to hate it.
Yes.
So I was like, I thought 3D was so lame in high school that I would actively avoid it.
I'm not saying you're wrong for that, but I think you might be kind of right for that.
I just remembered. I'm just going through a list of Wikipedia titles because I knew there was one that was stuck in my craw that I had seen, but I couldn't remember. It was the Tintin movie. I definitely.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That movie fucking rules in a way that like it really shouldn't. Honestly.
Yeah, I never saw it. It totally missed me. But yeah, it was. Anytime someone would invite me to a movie, like, or like my parents would be like, "Oh, do you want to see this movie?" I'd be like, if they offered me showtimes and it was in 3D, I would be like, no, I'm not seeing it. It's in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did not like I think I made an appointment for Tintin 3D because like Tintin was a really important part of my childhood, and I was like, yeah, 3D, this will enhance the viewing experience. I want to get my maximum dollar value when I'm seeing my big favorite boy Tintin on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I mentioned it in passing, but did I talk with y'all about the experience I had seeing The Matrix in 4DX last week?
You did not tell me
I've
that.
heard this, but please, this is so fucking funny.
So last week, like I said, we're recording this on the 22nd. I just saw the new Matrix, and last week they were running the original through IMAX. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't have anything else to do tonight. No one's going to be at the movies. It's like a Wednesday at like 9 p.m. You know, who's going to be at the movies at this time? And so I'm looking around and I'm looking for IMAX showings, and I see something which is not regular IMAX, but is this new ? I don't know how long it's existed or how long it's been in Austin, but a new to me, as someone who has not gone to the theaters in a while at this point, invention called Regal Cinema IMAX 4DX.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I say, okay, I really wanted to go see it, you know, downtown on the big IMAX screen, but 4DX sounds really fancy. Let me see what this is. And to my horror, I look to discover that 4DX is sort of a Shrek 4D type touch, feel, sniff, shake, spray movie theater gimmick for films which are not a cute 4 minutes long, but are in fact 2 hours and 20 minutes long.
We've come a long way from the Nickelodeon magazine, including a cutout for a scratch and sniff card to take with you to see the Wild Thornberrys movie.
Yes,
We've come a long way.
I not to spoil the ending here, but I would describe IMAX 4DX as sort of the logical end point of the idea that action movies should make you feel like a theme park ride, because some brain genius Hollywood executive said, okay, yeah, what if we just put a 4-dimensional theme park ride experience in the movie theaters for, let's say 156 Christian minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like looked at it and I was like, wow, goddamn, this seems like the worst way ever conceived to watch a movie. And of course I was like, I have to see this. Like, I have to do this. And I look and I was like, well, if this is expensive, I won't do it. It was like $9 a ticket. So I was like, fuck it, we're just going. So I went with I went with a friend of mine.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah.
That is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
Oh
for
my God.
like normally I think the tickets for this are like $20, but this was like a classics, you know.
If you get those movie tickets at a discount, you know something's fucked.
Yeah. But since this was like a special screening and Spider-Man was about to come out, they were like, yeah, just fucking run it at $9 because.
Sure.
So I go with my friend and we get to the theater and we walk in, and the fear of God is put into me when I walk into this theater, because I immediately look up and the first thing I see is that there are huge fans mounted on either side of the auditorium with these like massive searchlights bolted onto the sides. And I was like,
God.
oh, sweet baby Jesus. So the second thing I notice is that the whole theater smells like kind of the inside of an athletic sneaker store. It has this really like rubbery fabric stench to it. And I look over at the seats and I go, oh my God, these look like gamer chairs designed by Jigsaw from the movie Saw. And we sit down in them, and I look down at my armrest, and the pure horror of God fills me as I see a button that says water on, water off. So we pretty much know what we're in for at this point, but no amount of sort of hyperbolic language or storytelling I could impart can ever properly illustrate the experience of watching 1999 American cinematic masterpiece, The Matrix, while sort of constantly just getting jostled around as if I'm an Arizona iced tea can. Like, the movement of 4DX is not particularly jerky. It is at times like sudden, but it kind of like thumps and, you know, vibrates and moves and shakes you around, but it never feels like your spine is going to break, right? It's just constant and uncomfortable enough to ensure that you absolutely, under no circumstances, can focus on anything in the movie you're ostensibly meaning to watch. Like, if I had not seen The Matrix and went in to watch it like that for the first time, I'd have no fucking idea what that movie's about, because the whole time it'd be like the fucking Jolly Green Giant is playing hacky sack with my ass. Like, and then in all the rain scenes, they like spray this like piss cold water at you out of the front of the seats. All the lightning scenes have like flashing lights. They turn on these huge fans. In the fucking there is no spoon scene, the seats tilted to match the motion of the spoon on screen as it happened. It is one of like the most vulgar, unhinged, and confrontational experiences I have ever had at a movie theater in my entire life. And like, under no circumstances can I recommend it, but good God Almighty, it is something unlike nothing I had ever experienced before in my entire life. It is just
tremendous.
Yeah, if they release the next Spiral or whatever in 4DX, I will be there day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I want a re-release of Saw 3D, but in 4DX.
I would be there day one for that. Saw 6. They're actually releasing the new Scream movie in 4DX, and I'm really tempted, but $20 is a lot of money for something like that.
Yeah,
that's too much.
I don't want to pay $20 for an unpleasant strange time.
Yeah, totally.
But I will pay, about half that for an unpleasant, strange time.
It was really something. I'm telling you, you go to that, you get like a little edible in you before that stuff gets started. It is.
Get freaked the fuck out during the movie.
Well, what sucks is that I was watching it and I was like, oh, for the first time I realized that, The Matrix is like a masterpiece, like this movie's incredible, but the revelation is undercut by the fact that I'm getting, sort of shaken about the entire time. It's really gruesome. It felt like I was in a jigsaw trap designed to like kill my attention span. I don't know. Do we want to talk about the first actual trap in this movie 40 minutes into this podcast?
Because we cut away from Hoffman cauterizing his leg wound to us where is this place?
It's
like a park.
It's like an outdoor.
It's quote unquote Times Square. It's like some sort of city square, basically.
It's
it's like
small.
kind of like an outdoor park, or like there's a gazebo, but there's like buildings at the same time. It looks like a mall or something. Like it looks like they're doing this outside the Apple Store.
Yeah.
the construction of the structure that Jigsaw has put in here does not push you away from the Apple Store thing of it.
No,
all.
it's a very easy comparison to make.
Because what we cut to is this like big like. I've got no sense for dimensions. It's just like a large, a giant reptile tank.
Yeah.
With three people strapped into it. There's two guys who are strapped at opposite ends of like a conveyor belt, kind of. And then in the middle of them, above them, is suspended a woman. And the setup of the trap is as the two guys wake up, this is when everyone in the town starts to notice that there's actually something here. Like, it's just, I mean, I know this is really CinemaSins of me, but just like the fact that no one seemed to notice that there was anything going on inside this box until those two guys woke up, like, was very, very funny to me.
So I took...
So people be so damn on their phones and not looking at the world around them.
People be so damn on their phones. So I took 6 Post-it notes worth of thoughts on this movie. And one entire Post-it note of that 6 is dedicated just to this trap right up at front. Because I think this really establishes the tone of what this movie is going to be. I think that it is patently absurd in set and setting. I think it is just... I don't know if it's intentionally meant to be such a departure from other Saw traps, because this one just takes place in public like a Chris Angel mind freak bit. But, like, there's so much happening here at once. This trap is 2 dudes on either end of this Saw contraption, right? And then this woman strapped to the ceiling with the other Saw. And I don't know what you would call this, like the love triangle trap, but it's basically a cuck trap.
Yeah.
And it's the cuck. Well, in a film about broadly and largely cuckoldry.
Yes.
We're starting off with a bang.
This is the broader point I'm angling at. This is the trap that establishes the narrative of the film. It establishes sort of the romantic relationship between the main trap guy and his wife. And if you didn't know, these 2 guys who are in this trap actually make a special secret appearance at the end of this film. The 2 guys.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
So
I'm quitting the podcast. Podcast is over. We have like 212 episodes. Great run, Blair. Thanks for everything. Morgan, thank you so much. Podcast over.
Wow, this episode was way shorter than I thought it would be.
Yeah, totally. We're just getting spun up. I'd say we're about a fourth of the way through this episode, if I had to guess. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So 2 things I want to note here is that it reminded me in construction. It was very similar in terms of concept to like the Mickey's Dick Smasher in like a spiritual sense, I think. Like like Jigsaw's Dick Ripper, I suppose.
Yes.
So another note I made that I'm sure everyone will think is really funny is I said these men were being canceled on Jigsaw. He put their asses on blast for real, really got them in the quote retweets on this one. And one of the reasons this is so funny is because he concludes his speech by asking which one of them is going to be the alpha male. which I feel like only further contributes to the discourse about this film. When
I heard the word, now you will decide, proving once and for all who is indeed the alpha male. When I heard those words come out of little Billy's mouth, I felt like I had been shot.
It's really funny when he rolls out on the tricycle in this one, because they shoot it like somebody coming on stage at a talk show. Like they shoot him in autonomy, where you only see like pieces of him at a time. Like first you see the tricycle wheel, then you see his gay little shoes, and then like his shoulder, and then he like fully rolls out from behind the guy, like he's coming out from behind the curtain on Oprah. It's so fucking funny.
Here comes a special boy.
Here comes a special boy. I need someone, if anyone out there is taking commissions and can do Billy the Puppet in an Akewood style, hit me up, because I've got an image I want you to create for me.
We need Billy the Puppet. Here comes a special boy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This trap is like, it is the first of these that is so just completely stupid in terms of concept and presentation, and I think in that sense it also sets the tone for what's to come, because so many of these traps are pretty absurd in the way that this is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as it ends up, they're like bickering back and forth, and like I don't know. It's such a strange thing that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I like the entire time it was happening. I was imagining, what if I was in this crowd, would I even give a shit? Like I would not even stick around.
Like, oh, it's fucking Derek and Bob, and they're fucking fighting over Helen.
I would just assume it'd be just like some sort of promotional stunt.
Yeah, because they're all dressed up like lumberjacks. Like the two guys are dressed up in like construction worker outfits to match the display. But then the woman is like, the lady who's strapped to the ceiling has this like push-up harness on her that is just like popping her titties out of this pink shirt that she's in.
It's the funniest thing ever, because it literally is as if I guess Hoffman, right?
Yeah.
Was like, the tits are the most important part of
this
situation.
This is definitely a Hoffman trap. He's the type of guy.
Horny.
He is the type of guy who would make a horny trap for people who were cucking each other.
Hoffman is the Jigsaw apprentice who's the Jigsaw apprentice who's always waking up sexually horny.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So basically, these two bros are like, oh wow, actually, it's the girl is the problem here.
This is a very misogynist film. I'll just say that up front.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, unsurprisingly, but yes.
Yeah, since Saw 4, I think this is probably the one that hates women the most.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get, but honestly, in like a less like directly like soul painful. I don't know.
It's
just different.
Just stupider.
Yeah. Stupider is it's less cruel and just deeply stupid.
Yes.
So they basically
they say, I think she gets really stretched out, because like this is like a fucking the most misogynist possible take on this woman, which is that like she's like in the middle of this, she's like nakedly manipulating both of the men. Like when one of the guys is winning, she's like, "Go Brad, go!" But when the other guy winning, she's like, "Oh no, I didn't mean it. Go Derek, go!" Yeah. And then at the end, she's like, "What are you fucking idiots doing? Oh my god, I can't like." And then like they say, I think we're breaking up with you, Dina."
Yes.
And then they let the saw just dig straight into her tummy and like spill her entrails all over.
I am so mad they never made a direct sequel to this, because I would love to see what they did with these two characters. Like, holy shit, are you kidding me?
Heterosexual mutual masturbation is what I'm thinking.
The fucking setup at the end of this film is such a like just unhinged slam dunk in terms of the canon of this franchise, and the fact that they never followed it up is like simultaneously really funny and really kind of sad.
Oh, I know. What could have been Saw 8 actually Saw 8,
Totally.
Yeah. God.
But so
we get our title drop.
We do, and I believe it. we get a flashback to the previous movie, right?
Yeah, we just get like the end of the last movie where like Hoffman
Yes.
gets put in the reverse bear trap.
Classic Saw move.
Yeah, he gets his way out. He like screams, and that's where the last movie ends, right? Like with him just like going, ah!
There's a really good canted angle in this, I think, on either his head going through or being pulled out of the trap when he goes out of the door. Like, as much as this guy says that he tried to sabotage this movie, there are some genuinely pretty good images in this one.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, the lady doth protest too much, perhaps. Like,
yeah, totally.
It seems like at least someone was having a good time making
this
movie.
Maybe the cinematographer was enjoying himself.
But yeah, so basically we just get a sequence of Hoffman immediately getting right back to work, essentially. Like,
yeah, because Jill, like, as soon as she realizes, oh fuck, he's gonna break out of this, Jill Tuck like starts sprinting in her little high heels. Like, she looks like that like TikTok that's like me running away from the werewolf when I when I want to get fucked or whatever.
Yeah,
just, like,
totally.
Going, oh no, don't get me, Hoffman.
Yeah, that guy running down the beach with the Michael Myers theme playing. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of. But Jill Tuck runs away, and Hoffman can't track her down. So he's like, "Well, back to the old grind." And he sews his mouth shut.
I have to say right up front, and excuse me if this is blue of me to say, because I think you talking about the way Jill moves in this scene that made me think of it. There are times when this movie looks like a porno, like straight up.
Oh,
absolutely.
Like, and we'll get to it, but for some reason they use this, like, I assume because it was filmed for 3D, this really uncanny digital filmmaking that makes everything look a little too real and like washed out. And the way the guy directs some of the scenes in this with like Jill and just like the other characters, I don't know. It's very strange. The vibe of this movie is very bizarre.
Yeah.
It's extremely bizarre. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, Hoffman gets right back to it. Well, like, yeah, Jill is like cowering in the background, and he's like skulking around and then bandaging himself up and everything. I like just I guess to let us know that he's getting right back to it.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah. This is the part where I got so excited to see Hoffman that I wrote Hoffman my little meow meow in my notes so I could say it on the podcast.
Oh,
I think this is where we started talking about Hoffman being moe through helplessness.
Oh yeah.
I think he's such like a fail son in these movies. I think there's an argument to be made for that distinction.
Definitely.
We also get Jill Tuck rolling up at the police station, and as described by the detective, she is, quote, looking crazier than a bag full of cats, which is, classic turn of phrase.
And she doesn't even look ruffled.
No, she looks fine.
She looks like she woke up, like did her shower, did her little makeup routine, then walked into the police station.
Yes.
We meet Matt Gibson,
who is an LA Noire extra.
Yeah.
This fucking dude. When I saw The Matrix, I saw the trailer for that new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie, which I hadn't seen.
I'm so sorry.
And like this Gibson guy looks like someone they would CGI into the background of one of those movies, if that means anything to anybody.
I mean, just like white dude who looks a little too old timey.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, he's he's so overacting badly.
It's theatrical. It really is like he's on a stage trying to perform this.
Like, this is the role of his lifetime.
It really is.
And I have to imagine it probably kind of was, you know?
I thought I looked this up the other day. Y'all can keep talking, but I'm going to see if he was in anything else.
Sure.
So we meet Matt Gibson, and he just introduces himself and like says, "Hey, I'm the cop in this movie." And we get some stuff about Hoffman, like getting set up, like, putting his machines in motion. And then we meet our other major character of this movie, Bobby Dagan.
Dagan.
So we get cut away to a talk show scene, like him being interviewed actively, and it is revealed through conversation that he is a or purports to be a Jigsaw survivor.
Overcoming Jigsaw, yeah.
Yes. And then we see like his media team behind the cameras. I just love the casting there. I just like I mentioned this on the stream, but like every blonde woman is exactly the same in these movies.
Yes.
And because there is one of his like media managers who ends up, or like I assume as much, assistant perhaps, who ends up in a trap later, is like spiky bun blonde girl with like
it's Dr. Roberta Bobby.
Glasses.
Yeah. Actually, can I have 5 more of these little blonde bitches, please? So, like,
yes, exactly.
The thing about this is that I am in no circumstances handing it to the writers of Saw, right? I think the way that this franchise tends to write women is reductive at best and actively harmful at worst.
Right.
And that being said, I really like how everybody in this movie who is not Amanda or Dr. Lynn Denlin is this same blonde white woman who's kind of like a girl boss, but also kind of vulgar, but also kind of like a boss bitch.
Frail.
Yeah, and for like it's such a weird and distinct cocktail of personality traits. It's like we said, it's like the Dr. Roberta Bobby virus, like going around and transforming all these women into the same woman. It's there's a really compelling academic argument to be written about the similarities of the women in Saw and the cycles of violence the film inflicts upon them, but that is entirely outside my purview. And so for now, I will simply say, wow, Jill Tuck, and have a great time, because her performance in
Jill
this
Tuck
is,
indeed.
Yeah.
I just like, she was a shining star for me in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I just love seeing her do things. I don't know. Like, she's just like,
she has a very particular physicality about her too, right?
She does. There's like this big-eyed sharpness about her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like she's always looking worried about something, but never really truly terrified. Like
she's thoughtfully concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Like she has this look she does where her eyes are kind of big and her mouth's open like just a little bit, like almost like she's pouting, but she's kind of supposed to be worried or anxious. But we aren't talking about Jill. We're talking about his media manager.
That's right.
Yeah.
we're too taken by her. Yes, and so our non-Roberta Bobby dude Bobby is just I don't know. He's imagine a daytime talk show conversation about the Saw. You know, like about a Jigsaw survivor. This is essentially that scene. There's nothing
doesn't make any sudden moves.
No. It's very it's very predictable.
Mm-hmm.
He was lifted up by hooks, and that becomes relevant later in the chest, and he's got
he had
scars.
to hook him into his titty meat.
Yep. And he's like, I broke free, and then and I overcame, and it's like kind of ridiculous. I don't know. It's. I mean, I guess I don't want to jump around too much, but like later we have like the next scene with him. I recall is him in this sort of like group therapy thing, and like one of the girls is like, "It was kind of the best thing that ever happened to me," and I was just like looking. It's like so. In what, like, truly in what world, right?
Like I feel like this franchise feels the need to like backwards justify it. Like the thing is that like you look at what Jigsaw is doing, you're like, this guy is a fucking sicko. But then like with like, I think that they want to paint Jigsaw as like a morally gray character, and like I think that all of this, like, because this happens in Saw. Which one's the one where is it Saw 6 that I'm thinking of?
Which one?
Where Hoffman visits the woman in the hospital and is like, "But did you learn anything?"
When after she chops her arm off, he goes and talks to her in the hospital.
Like, this is not the first. This is not the. But that really doesn't show. That really, I brought that up, but that really doesn't exhibit what I'm talking about. Like,
no, I
not,
get the idea of what you mean. Yeah.
But like, I feel like this is all like to like. Well, we made Jigsaw too fucked up and twisted, so we need to like get some people on screen like giving testimonials.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like when you're making these films, you kind of assume there's going to be a contingent of like edgy teenagers who are like, "Whoa, what if Jigsaw was right the whole time, man?" Like that kind of shit. And so I think these movies play into that a little bit as well, because like when you focus on the villains, that's implicitly what the message of the movie is, right? Is that Jigsaw is right. He is correct in what he does, and I think that's largely the position the films themselves take. I don't know if that's what you as the audience member are meant to take from it, but these are to a fault villain-centric narratives in that way.
Yeah, totally. It is interesting though, in that way. I don't know. It's just like it's like flawed in a very compelling way to me.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But in any case, the next scene after because there's a lot of talk about continuity. There's a little continuity within this plot itself. Like, it is just a lot of events happening.
Right.
So right after
after Bobby Dagan goes on the talk show and talks about his book Survive, Find Out What It Means to Me.
That's right. I forgot.
We get Jill Tuck finding a silly little tricycle outside her home.
Oh my god.
And like being momentarily like disquiet, like being momentarily like taken by it, like, oh, what's this? Oh no, right. What's this? And then she gets got by Hoffman, who puts her in the
the Danganronpa execution trap. This is called the pain train.
Right, like I feel like when Hoffman revved the engine on that second, like the
yeah, totally. This is this is my favorite kill in the whole series because it is the most like a Danganronpa execution. Because that's what that's like what I wanted out of these movies when I started watching them, and they're not really that, right? Like sometimes they hit that level.
You got so much more, but yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they hit that level because a Danganronpa trap has its own like particular vibe, like it has to be kind of cartoony, and this is the one that I think like nails that, because this is the fucking the scene of all time in the Saw franchise. We wake up into this scene. Jill Tuck opens her eyes to find that she has been sort of vertically chained floor to ceiling on a train track, like a kind of, Penelope Peril type situation. And she is dressed in this like super skimpy pink number. She looks around in terror and stares down the track, only to see what I can describe as a go-kart with massive headlamps, a whole bunch of Silent Hill industrial bits welded to it, and a massive like 4-pointed drill bit on the front.
Yes.
And so Hoffman steps out of the shadows around the side of this cart. He puts his hand on the engine and revs it, and he says the immortal line, "You want to know the only thing wrong with killing you, Jill? I can only do it once." The music starts blasting. The go-kart launches out of the station. It sears down this track, getting closer and closer to Jill Tuck as the drill bit spins up. And as soon as it hits her, her scream reverberates and echoes across the soundscape as her body is ripped apart and blown into 4 discrete pieces, which then bounce on their chains and launch gore out into the audience as a 3D gimmick. It rules. It is such a good scene. It's so good.
It rules so much. Like, I love shit like this. That is so, I don't know. It's just like, that's why it's like this movie has a lot of energy, and like there are like places of like real excitement about these things that it's creating.
Totally. Yeah.
It's like, dude, wouldn't it be dope if like, like, oh my god, like this sort of like a train like like drill thing, and we just like shot it, you know. And then she was like, "Whoa!" It was like, "Whoa, so badass, right?" You know, like it's got that vibe, you know.
Were you the one who said that these movies approached low art for you while we were watching it?
Yes, like yeah, I don't. Well, it's like, yeah, because it's not just like cultural white noise, you know. It's substantive, but it is unsophisticated.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like, oh, so if there was in your mind, imagine one of those like 4 corner charts, like an XY graph with 4 quadrants, right? And imagine one of those lines is labeled sophistication, and one of those lines is labeled complexity.
Yes.
On the sophisticated and complex area, you get stuff, you know, like Tarkovsky, like The Matrix, you know, like such and such, etc., etc. On the complex but not sophisticated, I think you get stuff like the Saw franchise and like the Jackass movies, which are incredibly complex. And then you get stuff, you know, like I don't know, any other movies, like, and I think if you put it on the graph, something like the Chucky franchise would probably still be like in the complex.
Homestuck.
Yeah,
Homestuck, complex but unsophisticated.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess so. I guess Homestuck is more like, vulgar.
Homestuck exists in several discrete parts.
So,
this is not a Homestuck podcast.
No, it could be.
So what kind of
gun to both your heads right now?
All right, so what kind of works would then be complex but not no, sorry, sophisticated but not complex? That like a John Green novel where it tries to be very lofty about its philosophies, but just has nothing beneath the substance or beneath the surface.
I think a lot of the A24 suite of movies,
absolutely,
is, like,
positively.
Like, I would call I don't know. I'm just thinking like It Comes at Night. That's sophisticated but not complex.
Yeah, totally. And then the other one would be not sophisticated and not complex. So
I would put like
Halloween 1.
Broadly,
no, Final Destination.
Like,
Final Destination's franchise.
Yeah, just whatever.
No.
Yeah, like Friday the 13th, right? Like, not sophisticated, not terribly hard to follow. There's just a big man with a machete coming to kick your shit.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I don't know. To me, if complexity is the other axis of this. Because I was thinking about,
because it can be on a multidimensional gradient, right? Like, it doesn't have to just simply exist in one of the quadrants. It can be closer to one of the axes than the other, right?
No, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Of course. But my like thought there of like how we can like consider Saw to be like not sophisticated, but like have like real like intangible. Like, it feels like there's something there you can hold on to.
Yeah.
Like in opposition to like the Marvel movies writ large, which are complex, and I don't think I would call them sophisticated either.
Right.
But they're sort of ephemeral at the same time.
Right.
You know? There's
totally.
There's a lot. It's like there's a lot there, but it's just sand, and you can't really hold on to it very well.
So then, in that case, we have to make this a 3-dimensional graph, which has a third axis for substance.
Yes.
All right, get ready to fill these other 4 quadrants we've come up with. What's going in these?
Yeah, we're about to figure out a fucking Homestuck chart over here.
Yeah. Our first 5-hour episode.
Finally, the fans have been clamoring.
Okay, we can keep talking because I need to look something up.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Jill gets exploded and then she wakes up because
she wakes up in her, and then I think we cut. Yeah, she wakes up from her dream, and then we cut to Chester. We cut to Chester Bennington in this movie. Rest in peace.
Mr. Linkin Park.
God,
Mr. Linkin Park himself.
They really don't let up on this. It goes straight from one of the funniest kills in the franchise to the other funniest kills in the franchise, like just back to back.
That's right. I remember being so whiplashed by this.
I've got an interview, by the way, from MTV News in 2010 about how Chester Bennington wound up in this movies.
Please.
This is a quote from Mr. Bennington himself back in 2010. It's a funny story. The producer of the Saw films, Mark Berg, the producer of the Saw films, lives next to one of my bandmates in Linkin Park. And when he moved in, they got to meet each other. My bandmate brought up to Mark that I'm a huge fan of the Saw films, and Bennington explained, "I've literally every time they come out, I'm there on opening day."
Fuck yes,
that rules.
I love the movie, so I'm very enthusiastic about it. Bennington continued, and so he was like, "This is going to be great. Chester's going to be so stoked that you're my neighbor. He loves the movies." And from that conversation, Mark then said, "Well, do you think he'd want to be in one of the movies?" And the answer was, "Fuck yeah! Are you kidding? I want to do that." So that's how it evolved, and eventually this role came along and kind of fit.
Well, he kills it because he's one of the best traps in the whole series.
The one I remember the most strongly, honestly, like this is kind of the one, like one of the Saw traps I think of when I think of Saw traps, you know?
Totally, yeah.
Like when I think Saw traps, the ones that come to mind are like Venus flytrap, Shotgun Carousel, this. Strangely not Reverse Bear Trap, because Reverse Bear Trap is always like the anchor of the movies.
This is fun. Now that we've seen all of the movies, we should talk about each of our 3 personal favorite Saw traps.
Okay. Personal favorite Saw. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the Saw wiki just to remind myself.
Yeah. Well, I will say I have seen the first 3. It has not been as recent that I've seen the first 3 because I did not watch those 3 before watching.
Right.
No, wait. We watched 3, 4, 5, and 6, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For Saw.
So I did not. It's been a long time since I've seen the first 2. Well, for myself, I really do love this a Nazi car scene because it's Rube Goldberg in a way that the Saw franchise allows itself to be.
Yes, absolutely. It is like the fullest realization of that Tom and Jerry bullshit.
And just to like get it out of the way, let's describe it briefly. So it is Chester Bennington glued to a car. They're all skinhead Nazis. Is the sort of
very
thing.
Important. Yes, this is a very Zen pencil stop being racist type trap.
Yeah, but it rules also. Like the thing is,
totally, totally.
So he's glued to this car that's like sort of been smashed up a bit, and like the windshield is broken, and there's this lever on the opposite side, and the engine is revving. There's a girl underneath one of the back tires that is like spinning and spinning. One of his friends has like hooks on all of his arms and legs, and also his bottom jaw. And the other one is basically like chained to the wall directly in front of the car that is like gearing up to go faster and faster.
Yeah.
As this timer clocks down to like basically drop the car so it hits the ground.
We've seen a setup like this before because it was in the first unescapable trap that we saw from Amanda. I think in like Saw 3 or 4 maybe. There's a guy that had like all the piercings through his body, and that's this, but just hooked up to a car engine.
Yes, exactly. So like it's the timer goes down, and the goal is like you got to reach this lever in order to save everything. And so like Chester Bennington is like, it's basically like a minute of screaming. Like the next, it's just him like ripping his skin off his back and like reaching for this lever and screaming.
Yeah,
and of course,
a lot of sound design that sounds like a leather couch being ripped open. After a while it gets kind of goopy, and you start seeing his insides, which like the blood are like pink for some reason.
Well, yeah.
I would like to note this is maybe the funniest and most heavy-handed Jigsaw has ever been in one of his opening monologues, because he ends this whole thing by saying, "Oh, you're all disgusting racists, blah blah blah. You deserve to die," and then he says, "You're going to find out that we are all the same color on the inside." like come on, man.
We're all pink. We're all pink and filled with hot dogs.
Yeah, it's really something. But yeah, I think the sequence of of the sort of anticipation being built here of him pulling and ripping his skin is not super interesting, because he's just doing this and screaming and grunting, and the racists are like, "You're a pussy, dude.
Exactly.
Come on, man." And then, but I think I'll leave this to y'all to describe. But the part where the trap actually goes off is just chef's kiss, just incredible.
It's
just
so
like,
good.
Like it's the shit in like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies when he like when he like sees the combat that's about to happen in advance and then like just executes it all in like a 5 second in a 5 second scene.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like is that it's just like the woman gets crushed, like the car starts driving, it pulls the guy's arms and mouth. I knew that it pulled it. I remember that it pulled his jaw off. I did not remember the part where it just like yanked his arms off too. The car like rams into the guy that's like taped to the garage, and then like the car just happens to make a head-on collision with another car with enough force to rip Chester Bennington out of his seat, rip and shoot him through the windshield of the car that he's in and into the windshield of the other car.
It's so good. Like, it's one of those things where it really stretches your ability to like absorb all this carnage at once, because it's like, okay, it drops and kills the woman. It's like this sounds kind of perverse of me, but I think one of the funniest things that can happen in a movie is a well-timed head smash from a car wheel. Like, if you do that right in a film, it is always the funniest thing. Like, really. And this movie nails it. The part where it, like, breaks the guy through the wall is fine. The guy getting ripped apart is, like, something from a Hellraiser movie. And then, like, just when he breaks through the door and you're like, okay, you know, I think that's it. Like, we've seen the trap. No, Chester Bennington gets launched, like, 20 feet out of the car through another windshield. I thought did the car explode, or did I just put an explosion in there just for shits and giggles?
The car explodes later.
The car explodes later,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. It does not explode at the time I wish it did.
If he had flown through that windshield and the car had just exploded for no reason, it would have been the best moment in any film.
It would have made this the best film ever.
Yeah,
yes.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happens. And then I do want to say that the next scene is that group therapy scene, unless we have another. Unless it's
the Jigsaw Survivor support group. And we get one of them talking about a flashback to possibly this is honestly like it's not the setup is not there. We only see it for 10 seconds in flashback, but the trap that we see is so fucking funny.
This is like a Family Cutaway gag, a Family Guy cutaway gag. Like, it has the exact tone and pacing as one of those, if you want to describe it.
Because like the woman in the woman in the support group is reminiscing about her time in the Jigsaw trap. And she says that she reminisces, and we get a bit of a flashback of her like hanging by her arms on like a pipe or something that's suspended above a bunch of like big fans.
They're lawnmowers.
Spinning.
They're upside down lawnmowers.
Yes, they're lawnmowers. That's what they are.
And so it is her and like I guess her like husband.
Her shitty husband. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're like sort of like catfighting essentially, just smacking at each other, trying to knock the other one down, and she knocks him down, and he falls.
Do we even see the body like get torn to
No,
shreds?
no, the blood just sprays all over her
cover
face.
The woman.
Yeah. Just red mist. And then it cuts to like the fucking garden gnomes that are like lining the wall.
This is my favorite trap, because they put so much effort into designing the way of like designing this trap that just makes you question what this could possibly be. Like, because my theory is that these are people who worked at like a home goods store and it's Christmas. So like the woman is working, she has this like shiny vest on, right? And my theory is that this is taking place in like the stock room, or like themed after the like Lowe's garden center job that she has selling holiday gnomes and lawnmowers to people. That's kind of what I filled in the gaps for on this one.
I love that.
I really like those gaps being filled, and I'm really sad that Saw 8 never happened, because we absolutely would have gotten backstory on these characters also.
Oh, totally, yeah. This would have been the trap that the secret Jigsaw apprentice we saw earlier set up. That's why it has that weird touch of aesthetics with the gnomes and all that. You know, he had to put like a gay little touch on it.
Yeah.
Gotta. Mm-hmm.
but she like swipes at him and he drops down. She gets sprayed in blood and like
and this all happens in like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we get like we see like some faces of other survivors from this franchise. We see the woman who survived the pound of flesh trap from the start of Saw 6.
Mm-hmm. The guy,
one of the survivors from go on. You know this better than
yeah, the guy who burned down the building in Saw 5 is there. The kid who was in the safe in Saw 2 is there. The
kid who was in a safe.
Yeah, the woman who survived the noose hanging in Saw 6 is there. And I think there is one other person from maybe the woman from Saw 5 is there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, but it's some fan favorites or whatever. I don't know. It just seems a lot of people that they could get that were recently in a Saw movie.
Yeah, the only people who survived the traps, because everybody else except for these people died.
Yeah.
But one of the woman from the pound of flesh trap is like, are you kidding me? You're talking about how this saved your life? The only thing that this did to me was made me lose 20 pounds from my fucking arm that I had to cut off to survive. And she gets really mad. And then Bobby Dagan steps up and like does like a fucking 2-minute speech that's just like, we are stronger for having gone through what we did. And he like takes off his shirt and like shows his scars, and they don't really look like a hook went into them.
They're pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really sure how those kind of scars would heal, but
they'd probably be like longer and more irritated because of the skin being stretched, right?
Yeah. But in any case, so it's he's having this speech, and then who comes thumping on in?
He doesn't come thumping on in. He's been there the whole time, and it's just.
Yeah, he gets the slow clap.
He gets the slow clap from the back of the room.
It's our good friend, the Dread Pirate Roberts. Carrie Elways is in the building.
Carrie Elways, Bobbly Wobbly from the Oogie Love's Big Balloon Adventure.
Listen, so
like I saw Princess Bride earlier and more times than I saw the Oogie Love's Big Balloon Adventure. Actually, no, that's not true. I've seen the Oogie Love's Big Balloon Adventure more times than I've seen Princess Bride. That's a complete falsehood. But I did see I did see Princess Bride earlier. But Bobbly Wobbly will always be the defining Carrie. Like when I think Carrie Elwes, I'll think, oh, he was in the Oogie Loves, which is an insane person thing to think.
That's rough. So the thing about Carrie Elwes in this movie is he is in it for all of, I would say, including flashbacks, 5 minutes of screen time.
It's so funny.
And he eats this movie alive. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Like, I can't... He is for not being in this franchise for as long as he was, because I understand he had some sort of rights dispute with the filmmakers, but to just come back at the ass end and have more fun with it than anybody else has in the whole franchise aside from Tobin Bell, it's unreal. His performance in this, he plays the gayest evil British man alive. He is, like, walking around in these 3-piece suits. He has this Hannibal-type cane. Like, he looks like somebody from Hannibal in this. He really does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's just oozing... Like, they gave up on trying to make him be American. He's just British now, and God knows why. He gets up and he's like, well, he's kind of doing like a Heath Ledger Joker voice. He's like, well, isn't this touching? And he kind of razzes Bobby Dagan a bit, and he says something like, I'm so thrilled to have been on your promotional DVD. And then he just kind of leaves. Like, that's really all we see of him. But
yeah, he just like fucking dips.
Yeah.
And Bobby is like, haha, yeah, that's so awkward and random. And moves on, essentially. Yeah.
And someone like talks about how I didn't realize until after it was over that like they talk about how Bobby just like started showing up a while ago, but for some reason I thought this was like a sponsored like I don't know, like fucking Narcotics Anonymous hosted by Steve-O or something like that, or
sure
whatever. I can't Like, I kind of just, like, I didn't think that he just, like, showed up to these, the way he is talking, I did not think he showed up to these, I thought it was, like, a self-help seminar, kind of.
Yeah.
But no, he just, like, started showing up to these things and turned them into his little marketing places.
Yeah, because his whole media team is there in the back, too, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It's so obvious. Like, it's the second you see him on screen, it's like, oh, you're the guy who's gonna get sawed, aren't you?
Totally, yeah.
Because how does he get taken? Because I don't even remember. Because my next note is just my next note is the cops find the Nazi trap, and then Bobby is in a trap.
I think it's a classic Saw walk out to your car and get got by two people in pig masks.
The zero escape classic.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
yes,
I think
yes.
this is where we see there are two people with pig masks that come up and grab this guy.
Yes.
So this is where we kind of get, I believe, a continuation of the cuckolding theme of the film. Or wait, does this cut to the cop narrative, or this cuts straight to Bobby Dagan in the chastity
We just
cage,
get like
right?
we just get like the scene of the cops finding the Nazi trap, like a very brief thing of like the cops notifying Gibson and be like, hey, get down here. There's been a car crash. It's a Saw trap, and Bobby's like, Gibson is like, fucking, I gotta go. Let's move.
So I have a piece of information that I've been sitting on for the better part of 40 minutes at this point. So the guy who plays Gibson, his name is Chad Donella. He has been in one other horror film before this that you are both intimately familiar with. Would you like to guess what it is?
Fuck. He wasn't in Blair Witch, was he?
He was in the original Final Destination as Todd Wagner.
Stop.
He's the guy who gets the train metal through his head. Like, he gets the top of his head cut off by the train that like launches a piece of metal into his head.
Yeah, this is the same guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, his face, now that I'm thinking, it's like, I mean,
What the character's name was Todd Wagner?
Yeah.
yeah.
Todd with one D.
Yeah, I don't know if he wore a backwards hat, but he could, like, him 5 to 10 years ago could wear a backwards hat.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got big LA noir. How do you do, fellow kids? Energy, which we'll get to. We'll get to all that later. But
yeah.
this is
Oh no, I was incorrect. That is not. I was thinking of a different character in that movie. Todd is the one who dies in the bathtub with the wire around his neck.
Yes. Man, dude, the first Final Destination is crazy. Anyway, continue.
The first Final Destination really feels like the X-Files spec script that it was originally meant to be.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that
That's how
kicks
the movie
ass.
started.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Did you know that Supernatural has a Final Destination episode?
It doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
They're in a timeline in which someone went back in time and stopped the Titanic from sinking, and now Death is Final Destinationing a bunch of people who were supposed to die in the who were like the descendants of people who were supposed to die in the Titanic.
That is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Season like 6 too, so that was like not that deep into the show's lifetime.
Yeah. So we get all that right, and then we cut back to Bobby Dangerfield, Bobby
Dangerfield,
Bobby Darger.
Bobby never been tested. Wakes up in a cage,
Yeah.
and sees SURVIVE. Find out what it means to me, written on the bottom of his tank, on the bottom of the cage, where his feet will go when the thing gets lifted upright, and he gets like dangled atop a spike field, and Jigsaw comes in and is like, "Hello, Bobby. You claim to have been tested, but I have no record of you on my books of testing. You must survive the test to save your wife, Joyce. I will show you now. She has a collar and a leash on. She's
Yeah.
been a very good girl."
Yeah, and while he's in this very phallic-looking cage, I may suggest,
Yeah.
really digging into
Yeah.
the meat of this
Cuck movie.
Yeah.
the psychosexual implications of Saw 3D.
I had 2 points here. I think I forgot the first one, but I want to say during Jigsaw's like narrative here, while he's going off on the tape recorder and all that, he the words he says are that quote. Bobby has to obtain access to his wife. That is the phrasing that Jigsaw uses in these cassette tapes.
Funny.
It's really something.
Obtaining access to my wife.
Yeah.
Getting the key code to my wife.
Imagine you found out you were cucked by Lieutenant Mark Hoffman. How would that make you feel?
God.
Well, I mean, I think it would be more personally offensive to learn that I've been cocked by Hoffman by way of Billy.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The indirect cuckoldry.
Well, it's just like getting the vehicle for information is insulting.
Billy just doing the yay Billy dance as you find out about the...
Yeah. So there's this trap where he's hanging over these spikes, and they don't really do a good job of framing this because it looks like he's hanging about a foot over them, like he could just hop down. Once he's actually on the ground, they do seem a little more far away, but it's still, dude, just like hang off the bottom, you know, and just set your ass down.
Yeah, you mentioned that, like, them shooting it from above makes it look like he is, like, at most, like, 6 inches from the floor.
Totally, yeah.
And the thing is that, like, there is not a density of spikes here that ensures that his feet will get sheared if he drops down.
Yeah, I guess the illusion of depth was added to that if you saw it in 3D, but it looks
I'm sure it looked
bad.
really scary if you saw it in 3D.
Yeah.
And this is when we get our flashback of Bobby Dagan getting the idea to lie about his jigsaw trappery, because, like, he's sitting at a bar drinking beer, eating peanuts, and, like, just watching. God, remember sitting at a bar drinking beer and eating peanuts?
Only vaguely.
I don't know if I've ever eaten peanuts in a bar.
I don't think I have either, but, like, I'm feeling wistful for it in the absence of being able to do anything at a bar.
Yeah.
Yes, fair.
Yeah, they have this, like, I'm trying to remember what this woman looks like, because for some reason in my mind she kind of looks like an e-girl, but I don't know if that's the vibe. She's another person who's like, oh, it was so good to be tested by Jigsaw. This woman is like, oh, it changed my life. Again, solely representing the people who are like, oh, Jigsaw's good. No representation for, yeah, Jigsaw fucking sucks. He took off my ass cheeks. But yeah, this guy with his shitty hair, he decides to like they look like, they really do a good job at making these guys look like early 2000s slime balls in this bar scene.
Oh yeah, totally.
And then he's like, oh, I could totally do like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia type scam by saying that, you know what? This movie is an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The gang gets tested by Jigsaw. Fucking Dennis goes and decides to run a scam where he says he's been abducted by Jigsaw, and then the whole thing is Jigsaw putting the gang in a series of saw traps that he has to save them from.
Yes.
Just fucking giving out ideas on this podcast. So I think that's in my next two notes here, is that the next thing that happens after he gets through this, just like the there's not a trap right after he gets out of the spikes, right? It just cuts to the cop guy and Jill, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is where we decided that this guy was playing this cop as like a Tim Robinson bit, because he has that like very distinct sort of like almost aggressive, like, but not so like it's just weird. Like, he's just aggressively weird, and he over enunciates certain words for some reason. Like his tone of voice and the pacing of his sentences isn't quite right.
I can just like imagine with perfect clarity, like, Tim Robinson being like, "You're gonna be safe here. This is a safe house," like, to someone else in the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I totally get what you mean, though. It's a sort of like overacted aggression, I think, is a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And the difference here is, like, with a Tim Robinson thing, it's obviously like on purpose.
Yeah, totally.
But this is
completely unintentional. This
is what this guy thinks acting is.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's very theatric. Like, it feels like he should be on the stage doing this, because when you film it in this really nice digital 3D camera bullshit, it feels very over exaggerated and uncanny.
Yeah, it feels too big for its own britches in a lot of ways. It's like, calm the fuck down. You need a little bit more subtle performance here.
Mm-hmm.
So Jill does not think they can protect her, but is like, she has no real choice other than to go into the cop custody. And then we go to like the Nazi, where the Nazi cops were, or not the Nazi cops. Nazi cops, bit of redundancy, but like the Nazis, where the cops are investigating the Nazi body pile. And then all of a sudden, like, cars just start exploding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also Hoffman sent a video to the cops that's basically said, "You should just let me kill Jill Tuck."
Yeah, a message to the cops gets silly, and like it looks like he's filming like inside of his garage. It's a really interesting visual on Hoffman.
He is a type of guy.
He would be one of those malt liquor YouTubers that films himself like chugging down 40s in his garage.
Yes.
So
then Bobby walks into the Nancy Reagan trap, the throat goat trap. And the Dr. Roberta Bobby manager is in the trap, and the whole thing is just like she's got these four like these things that look like giant syringes that are gonna like dig into her throat if in 60 seconds, but it will go faster if she screams.
And she immediately starts screaming.
Yeah.
Right. And like before anything like untoward even happens to her, like I mean, being put into a jigsaw trap, definitely an untoward thing to happen to you, but like I am not in the immediate feeling any sense of pain. Like if someone tells me that me being loud is gonna make this go faster, I'm like,
yeah, I'm shutting the fuck up.
just zip until it at least starts hurting.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So he has to pull out this like key, I think, or whatever from her throat, and so like it's just awful.
It's like hooked into her. But there's like a big fish hook.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks on ice. And he doesn't do it in time.
Right,
and she dies. She takes
He gets the key out like with a couple of seconds left, but just like doesn't even look at the key. He's just too busy being fixated upon like his Dr. Roberta Bobby's neck getting punctured from 4 discrete angles, and then he just like starts screaming like, "Why didn't you shut the fuck up? God damn it!"
Yeah.
His wife is watching and she gets yanked into her leash gets yanked further into the ground and she gets like forced into being on all fours.
They really done did it with this one. Like I don't. We know that there are people out there horny for saw traps, right? We've.
Oh, absolutely.
I would be fascinated to know how people who are into that kind of thing rank the traps in this franchise. I really wonder what the criteria is for that.
Totally.
Next we get the flashback of Bobby. Bobby's like, oh fuck, how did I even get into this situation? He like remembers that he flashes back to the question I'm asking here is like, is this like just the camera flashing back? Because there's no way that Bobby could be like, oh fuck, this is the time that I talked to John Kramer Jigsaw.
Yeah, I have to imagine it's just the camera because Bobby is too much of an idiot to realize anything.
Right, but like even if he was like a fucking huge brain genius, like there's no way he would be able to remember. Oh, this guy that I talked to this one time, that was Jigsaw.
I think.
Totally.
No, he figures it out because there's the signed copy of the book, right? He triggers the memory because he picks up the copy of the book that John came and signed.
Yes, okay,
with like the address to it. Yeah, and that's when he remembers John Kramer. How do you do, fellow kids? Coming to talk to him at his own book signing.
He's wearing a backwards snapback, which you can
There's no snap on that snapback. It is a snapbackless snapback.
Yeah,
I mean, like most of the snapbacks that I encountered, like were one size only. Like you bought the fucking Cookie Monster snapback that did not have an adjustable size on the back.
Well, yeah, but that's true. It's just like a baseball cap, I guess.
He's got
the shitty little goatee. He's got the gamer drip, and he's just like,
oh, he has the goatee. So this took place before Saw 1. Wait,
I think he has. I think he has the goatee. In my mind's eye, he has the goatee. Hold on, let me Google Jigsaw.
Gosh,
Bobby.
Now I have to know when this was in the continuity because if Dagan had the flashback to a few years before when he saw the trap survivor, and then in the interceding time,
he does not have the goatee. I need to correct myself. He does not have the goatee.
Because I was going to say,
never mind.
Yeah.
Jigsaw tells him about some ancient Egyptian thing that's like, if you are lying and you know that you are lying, that means you will be put into enslavement. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go read this book.
John Kramer is literally so cringe.
I think at one point he says something about Bobby, quote, milking it on TV shows, which I thought was particularly funny.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have that in my notes too. A jigsaw survivor milking it on talk shows.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I guess you can just do that. They let you do whatever you want if you've survived a jigsaw trap.
So then our next trap is Suzanne, who is in who looks like she's in the wheel that rolls down the cave in the Mortal Kombat movie. But instead of going on a fun adventure where she's rolling around like she's fucking zorbing, she is instead going to be rotated slowly towards a set of spikes that will penetrate her eyes and mouth in 30 seconds time. The timer is set for 60 seconds, and Bobby has to like let be like the conduit for a current that stops the machine from turning for 30 of the 60 seconds, at least 30 of the 60 seconds, in order to save Suzanne. But in order to relay all this information, instead of there being like a tape like there is for a lot of these traps, Billy like swings in on a bird cage, like smashing through one of the windows.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so
like,
funny.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Bob.
He's not in this movie as much, but his appearances, they really make it count.
My notes are just Bobby has to hurt himself to save Suzanne from being rotated into the holes. This movie is so ugly. Well, Suzanne died.
Yeah. It's like an eye trauma trap where the guy has to do like a chest workout at the gym and lift the weight to stop the timer, to stop her face from getting shoved into these spikes. But when he does that, these like spikes. I was trying to think of a synonym, but it's just spikes on spikes.
It's spikes.
Yeah, the spikes come in from the side and like shoot into kind of like his ribs, and so he has to hold it like that. And like every other trap in this, she slowly rotates her way to an early demise because Bobby Dagan can simply not cut the mustard.
Yeah, he's
Bobby
not good
Dagan
at this.
saves nobody in this movie except himself.
No,
right?
he's quite poor at this whole jigsaw thing.
Also, does Bobby Dagan's story end with him just like failing to save his wife, and then that's it?
Yeah, I don't think we pick up with him again.
That's so funny. Anyways, then we Hoffman sends a threatening MPEG file to Gibson.
Threatening MPEG file.
Yeah,
Yes,
threatening
exactly.
MPEG file. I don't remember the context. I don't remember the contents of this video whatsoever, but it does happen.
If they want to see Hoffman
Yes.
MPEG so bad, they can just go on fucking Twitter.
Then we get to the trap in which Bobby's best friend Cale is trapped. CALE.
This
clarify the spelling.
This trap is so funny.
The trap is Bobby and Cale are on opposite sides of a room. It's like a second floor room. Most of the floor is gone, but there are some planks and remaining like structure, like concrete concrete pillars and a couple of walkways that are formed by it between them. And Cale and Bobby have 60 seconds to get close enough to each other for Bobby to unlock the noose that is going to hang Cale by his neck and kill him dead. And the thing about this trap that really was bothersome to me is that I know, like, these movies are really, like, a second is like 5 seconds. Like, they will show like a timer being at like 25 seconds left, and then like 30 seconds worth of stuff will happen, and they'll cut back to the camera, or they'll cut back to the clock, and it will be at 20 seconds left. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. The thing is, though, that this one has a really loud, like, this one starts with like a timer beeping, and like, with every second that goes down, the timer ticks again. And I don't think this is the first time this has happened in this franchise, but this is the one that's really stuck out to me because it's like, there are like 3 second, like there is a 3 second time period, like there, there's a 3 second jump between when we see the camera on the clock, in which there are like 20 plus beeps of this ticking time.
Yeah,
timer.
the clock timer in this is really inconsistent. It's
like,
very silly.
I do not. I watch a shitload of anime. Of course, I don't give a shit about anything happening in like 1-to-1 time with like an actual clock counting down. But when they just draw attention to it by just having the beeps, it's just so disruptive to me because I'm like, why is it beeping if not to say this has been a second? This has been a second.
Yeah,
No, totally.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
this is maybe a dumb thing to get hung up
Oh
on.
no,
I
it's all
agree.
good. I want to note in this scene, and this is something that extends to the movie at large, but you really notice it here with the blindfold Cale has on while he's trying to walk across these boards and these columns and shit. They really just went to fucking Bondage R Us for every single mask, restraint, and chain in this whole
Kale
movie.
is wearing is so.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I have seen so much fucking porn of characters in furry characters in bondage.
100%. I could walk down
Yeah.
the street right now and buy that exact mask if I wanted to. But
yes.
it's not even that. It's also the restraints that they have his wife in too. Like they're
the kind of the straight jacket. It's not like a straight jacket, but like the way that she's bound up feels bondagey. Also, the woman who gets put in the throat.
It
goat
totally
trap.
is. Yeah, she has like a jacket on. I'm like.
Yeah.
I'm fine if this movie wants to play that up, because I do think that's like expressly a very interesting and lurid way to lend your movie some visual heft, but I don't think Saw 3D is able to pull it off without me just being like, yeah, they just like looked up the first shit they found for this and put it on camera in their movie.
They just went into the director. The director just said, fuck it, I'm gonna tank this movie. I'm just gonna go into my closet, get some stuff.
Yeah,
boil it first. But
I want the deleted scene of Hoffman going to fucking Adam and Eve and buying all these like restraints for his new round of testing.
Go to extremerestraints.com, use the coupon code Jigsaw.
Yeah. So this trap is I would describe it, and I think someone may have said this in the chat, that it's like a double dare challenge. And
yes, it's exactly that.
Yeah, and it goes tits up when the guy is almost across, and Bobby throws the keys to the lock at him, and he gets one unlocked, but then he ham hands it, and it just like tumbles into the abyss before he can do anything else.
And the guy just looks at the camera like the fucking Mike Stuxlasa meme. Just knowing that you're fucked.
Yeah, totally. He just goes like, "Oh fuck," and then he gets hoisted.
He gets yanked off the screen. Like I don't even know what it is. Like it feels like. What does it even feel like? It feels like when you're watching someone go in like the bungee ball ride at an amusement park, and like they just pull the thing holding the bungee ball to the ground, and they just get launched.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a vertical someone getting pulled off of stage around the neck by a cane.
It's pretty good. I like it. After this, the next thing I have in my notes is Hoffman Michael Myers. So maybe you can elucidate some detail on that.
Well, my next notes are Gibson having a flashback to before the junkyard was being used to kill Nazis in. It was just a place for quote like junkies and homeless people.
I forgot about this.
And he was assaulted by one, and Hoffman gets around behind him, and he like gets the other guy to put his hands up, drop the gun, and then Hoffman just blasts the man full of bullets. Mm-hmm. And he like picks Coleman Gibson. What Gibson?
Yes.
He picks Gibson up off the ground and is like, "Next time you shoot first." But Gibson's like, he used excessive force. I complained to HR about it, but you know what happened? He got a promotion.
Damn, who'd have thought?
Yeah. Unsurprising.
Yeah.
The thing is, Saw movies can never be fully A-cap.
Yeah, well, because Hoffman
Right.
isn't the villain because he's a cop. He's the villain because he's the excessively violent cop, and he's out of control.
Yeah.
He's an anomaly in the system instead of embodying it. So
yeah,
I think that's all fine. Like whatever. It's just making Hoffman look more twisted and fucked up.
Yeah. Welcome to his twisted.
I don't like it. I don't like it because it's like really gratuitous and unnecessary police violence for a really stupid plot point. But I also don't like it because I think it's a lot funnier if Hoffman is evil just because like he is. This is almost like a Batman style origin story for why Hoffman is evil. And I think this franchise is so much funnier when Hoffman is just like a dude. Right, we already got his origin story. He wanted revenge on the guy that killed his sister. Like that's why he's doing Jigsaw shit. The fact that he's
right. We did not need this other hat on his hat.
Yeah, it really feels like extending the narrative for the sake of extending it. God forbid I accuse the Saw franchise of doing such a thing. Yeah, but
in a Saw movie,
it's just not handled with the same tone as it is in the other films.
For sure. I also apologize for my cats screaming.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, it's fine. We love to hear them.
They're my co-hosts.
Bobby and Joyce, his wife, whose name we've said like once in this episode. Bobby gets to the next room and he can see his wife Joyce on a video camera, and Joyce can see him. Oh, and in order to get to the next room, Bobby has to open a safe or something, or no, there's like a keypad on it that's locked with, and the code is etched onto his teeth, and he has to like pliers them out. I don't want to talk about it because it's
pretty nasty.
I don't do
too
well
much,
with, yeah. I don't do well with teeth. I don't do well with fingernails and
yeah. Totally.
So, he pulls his teeth out, but he makes it to Joyce, and this is when the cops start storming the building of the trap house that Bobby's trap trial has taken place in. Mm-hmm. And Jigsaw reveals his final trap to Bobby, which is like, you have to do the trap that you claim to have survived.
Yeah, which is
first what happens is that Bobby runs up to the electric fence and like looks at the thing that is very clearly an electric fence and like grabs his hands around it and just goes like,
yeah, he gets like Jurassic Park zapped by this thing.
Yeah.
But then he has to do the trap that he claimed he survived, which is to like, he has to like hook his titties on some giant like fucking like SpongeBob sized fish hooks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then grab the other, and those chains are like draped over a hook at the top of the thing, and then he has to like use the other ends of the chains to like pull himself up by his titties to the top, and then like put an electrical thing together, like put a plug into an outlet basically at the top of the rope, mm-hmm. and he almost does it, they don't. Well, okay. We cut away. Let's just finish this scene because they cut away for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just finish this and keep going. Yeah.
He almost does it. He like gets there and he's like holding on to the two wires, the two ends of the extension cord that he's about to plug in together, and then, unfortunately, his pectoral meat, he did not get those hooks deep enough because at that exact moment, Jigsaw gives him the free double mastectomy. The hooks, like, pull out of his chest, like, ripping his, like, titties off in the process. Jigsaw said trans rights. And then the timer ticks down to 0, and his wife gets encased in a brass bowl, but it's a brass pig. Like the sides of it like close around her in a really funny way, and then like it gets lit on fire, and we just see her melting inside, and that's the end of Bobby's.
That scene of Bobby's storyline. I don't think we picked up with him later. He lost the game. His wife was cucked inside of Jigsaw's bronze bull pig.
Mm-hmm.
There's more loaded imagery with that, and I guess that's the end of that, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The cops burst into Hoffman's what is supposed to be Hoffman's workshop, and they find the guy who got his mouth and arms ripped off earlier in a chair, like sitting in the fucking like the Jigsaw cloak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out Hoffman's been watching them this whole time, which is how he was like doing those remote explosions at the junkyard.
It's an okay twist.
Everything.
Like, it's not a great twist, but it's an alright twist.
The Hello Zep kicks in here, and it's like
a twist, but it's not the twist, right?
The fucking the machine gun from the last episode of Breaking Bad comes up and just
it's
like blasts
so
all the
funny.
cops in the room.
Like, they really just did not give a shit with the violence in this movie. Like, it's just like TF2 engineer popping up and like doing a Scarface on all these cops.
Right.
See, now you know, like on Jigsaw tweets when it's like no Hoffman a drive-by is not a trap. Like, it literally is just his personality in these movies.
God.
Oh my god. Yeah, totally though. And then God, this movie resolves in the craziest way.
Yeah,
So what happens next is Hoffman's mass homicide at the police.
Yeah, Hoffman
station.
goes sicko mode.
He's one of the bodies. He's one of the bodies that he's in one of the body bags that got wheeled in from the Nazi murder scene.
Yes.
Which kind of, I guess, makes me question the timeline of this, because I don't know how he was like remotely blowing up the cars at that site and recording those threatening videos if he was in a body bag down there. But I digress. This movie's timeline does not need to make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not touching this one.
Yeah. And all the cops get trapped in the murder house that's Well, all the cops on the scene at the murder house that did not get machine gunned down are now trapped, like locked in, and gas is filling the building. Yes. And Hoffman's like on a fucking slasher spree through the cop. Like Hoffman is just doing full Michael.
He really
Myers
is.
Shit at this time.
He really is. You put a mask on him, it would be indistinguishable. He has that really bulky, bulky, unrefined physicality that Michael Myers does in some of the later installments.
But aside from that, too, like, I'm really getting, like, a Laurie Strode vibe from Jill Tuck, who's, like, she's, like, aware of the monster that is coming to kill her, and is not, God. Jill is in the safe house, it's not safe because Hoffman killed the woman who was doing who was their video, their Abby from NCIS. Sure. Mm-hmm. And he holds her up to the peephole, and they're like, oh, it's Abby from NCIS. I guess we'll let her in. Mm-hmm. But just kidding. It's Hoffman. He's killing every single one of the cops, and Jill stabs him. We cut away to finish the Bobby stuff. So, I'm just gonna cut that from my notes real quick.
Right.
My next note says Hoffman beating the tar out of Hoffman. I imagine that's supposed to be Hoffman beating the shit out of Jill.
Yeah, there's the part where Hoffman gets kind of misogynist about it and beats Jill up, and he like gets up close to her, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't remember how that scene resolves. I think she stabs him or something. Yeah, she stabs him and runs away, I think. And what comes after this? Oh no, he gets he gets one over on her because he puts the reverse bear trap.
That's right.
He
finally gets.
Yeah,
we finally, for the first time in the franchise, see a reverse bear trap go off. He has her tied up in Jigsaw's workshop, and he walks over as like the cool music plays, and he looks at the table, and there's like the reverse bear trap 2.0 that she put on him, but he kind of like picks up the original one and like shakes his head, and it's like, oh, that's a good moment for all you sawheads out there. And so he puts it on her, and we get a montage, like literally like a montage of him setting it up and tightening the bolts and all that, which I thought was really interesting.
And her face explodes in jaw dropping 3D as the bits and bobs of her face.
It's so funny. It looks like one of the monsters in Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Totally.
And then Hoffman explodes the factory that his workshop. No, he explodes the police station. I think it is.
I know for a fact he explodes the workshop, and that's like the last thing. That's the last thing he does, because you see Billy on like the work table, and then he walks out and it blows up.
Yep, he walks out, explodes the workshop, and then he gets jumped by a gang of pig masks, one of them being Dr. Gordon.
Yes.
And there's a flashback now with the Hello Zap kicking in, and we find out a flashback spawning 7 fucking movies about how Dr. Gordon has been the true Jigsaw apprentice this whole time.
So good.
We see like every time, if you've ever questioned, how does Jigsaw have this surgical ability? His hands are so feeble. Like, when the guy's eyes are stitched shut in the mausoleum trap, or like, I don't know.
Putting the keys behind people's eyeballs.
Right. Any surgical alterations that the victims needed. This was all done by Dr. Gordon. And then Hoffman gets put in the evil bathroom from Saw 1. Dr. Gordon picks up the hacksaw and says, no, I don't think you're going to get this, and throws it directly at the camera away from Hoffman.
The 3D gimmick here is fantastic. It's like the CGI saw coming at the screen.
Yep. And then Dr. Gordon shuts the door and says, game over, and that's the end of the fucking movie.
Oh, it's so good. Like, they really make you wait for it, but I love them retconning him into those previous movies, and I love that
it rules. It really
he is just like evil British now. Do you think him and John were boyfriends? Do you think that's what the deal was?
Do you think John and Dr. Gordon never explored each other carnally?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I do think Dr. Gordon was gay, because that
man is absolutely a homosexual. Look at how he dresses in this movie.
Oh yeah,
right. I do not think he was sucking and fucking with John Kramer.
I don't think so. I'm wondering if that's like a ship in the community or something like that. I know one of the big ones is Hoffman and Strom. That's like just like a horrifying couple, but it's God bless, you know.
Yeah. No. John Kramer is like debilitatingly heterosexual. For sure.
Oh yeah, right, because he got horny over his wife during his brain surgery.
Yeah, he's a wife guy.
Yeah,
he is a wife guy. He's He's the wifest guy.
Remember how in Saw 3 the only things we knew about Jill Tuck is that she existed? Like, we didn't even know her name, just that Jigsaw had a wife.
Yeah, totally. Jigsaw's ex-wife.
Yeah.
God, what a way to end your franchise. And I mean, I guess you do kind of pick up with it with Jigsaw, but Jigsaw really doesn't address anything that the end of this movie sets up. Like, not to spoil it, but there's no continuation of the Gordon versus Hoffman plotline. I think they just had to give up, right? They were like, okay, this is too much to work with, or like people won't care about this. But if they had just made a Saw 8 with this exact plot setup, it would have been like maybe the best movie of this whole franchise.
Oh my god. Yeah, we can we can only dream, right?
On a scale of 0 to 5, free Jigsaw provided mastectomies, how many Jigsaw provided mastectomies are you going to give this movie?
Ooh.
Oh man. For myself, I guess. Well, for myself, I will say, God, this movie is a blast. It's
pretty fun.
Fun fucking romp.
Yeah.
It is. It would be the Saw movie I would probably turn on, like, as like, oh, we're gonna be talking over this, but we also want to scream at it, sort of like background noise.
Oh, totally.
Movie.
Yeah.
So I would give this one a solidly like a 4 out of 5. Just
wow. Okay. Hell yeah.
For its, like, honestly, like, just like how much did I enjoy watching this movie?
A lot.
I feel like
it's a good group movie.
And when we're talking about Saw, it's like unfair, I feel like, to say, you know, well, it's a shitty movie, like, because
right, because it's Saw.
Yeah, you don't show up to McDonald's for a 5-star meal.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
You want a McChicken.
God, I do. I have been on a no more fast food till the end of the year because I was really like I ate nothing but fast food for like finals week.
Sure.
So I'm trying to just like not eat any of that, and I fucking want to make chicken.
It's hard.
I mean, it's the one thing that I wish there was a vegetarian version of at McDonald's, because the McChicken was the go-to for me for the longest time.
God, the fucking hot and spicy McChicken. It's what McDonald's does not know how to make good spicy nuggets, but they do know how to make a good spicy McChicken.
In any case, yeah. So that's where I'm. That's where I'm.
This is like. I gotta try to remember what I rated Saw 6, because like this is not Saw 6
Yeah,
levels,
Saw
is, like...
6 is still the best one for me. I gave Saw 6 a 3.5, and I think that's a very strong 3.5. And I think similarly, I would give this one like a 2.5 probably.
Sure.
But
yeah,
that's a strong 2.5. It's a strong 2.5 because this is not a good movie by any means of like traditional filmmaking, I would say. But it's
sure.
entertaining, and it achieves what it sets out to do, which is entertain you with this bullshit, right?
Exactly.
It's the 7th episode of the Saw TV series, and even though it's not as strong as some of the other ones, the overall effect you get watching it, having seen the rest of the franchise, is really fun.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
We only have one quote-unquote question this week, and it is from friend of the pod, Aficionado? Is that anything?
Sawficionado?
Sawficionado, yeah. Nathan, I won't drop their Twitter because I won't drop his Twitter because it's a locked account, but he has sent in a tweet that I think we should just read.
Okay. Sure.
And I'm gonna DM this one to you real quick. You can decide which part you want.
Okay, let me check this out. Ooh, I don't know. These are.
I really want to hear your Jigsaw voice.
Okay. I'll go ahead and say this. So this is.
Yeah, I got the Hoffman.
This is one of my all-time favorite tweets from the Jigsaw Quotes account. So I'm glad it came up because I didn't do the voice enough in this episode. Okay. Hoffman, I appreciate your enthusiasm for the mission, but I don't have much use for a weaponized railcar that, as you so elegantly put it, quote, hits the broad so hard she explodes.
Well, yeah, you gotta tie her down so she can't get away.
I think about hit the broad so hard she explodes all the fucking time. It's so funny.
He is such a guy who would say broad.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hoffman is a type of guy.
He is like the ultimate horror film guy. I don't think there's any other male character in a horror franchise I enjoy seeing as much as Hoffman, short of like Bruce Campbell in the Evil Dead movies.
For sure, yeah, totally.
He is such a delight.
Yes.
What do we got? What do we got for recommendations, y'all? I can go first if we need time.
Please go ahead.
My recommendation this week is going to be an album that I've recommended at least once on here, probably twice. It's Baths' Romaplasm, his 2017 album. I think if you asked me, I think I would call Obsidian the best album he's put out. But like,
yeah,
I've just been in such a I've just been listening to so much Romaplasm lately. Like everything about it from top to bottom is like just truly just the sound of everything. The vocal, like, oh my god, I'm just getting
great.
The fucking lyrics. Oh,
I was really into
Will Weisenfeld.
Yeah, I was really into Baths around the time Obsidian came out. I fucking loved his stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Will Weisenfeld, truly one of the greatest.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
No,
Blair, what you got?
So for myself, something non-media. It's the holiday season, so Whoop-de-doo and Hickory Dock and
don't forget to hang up the clock.
Yeah, exactly. Get into eggnog, y'all. Like, I don't know. I'd love a seasonal drink. I've been I didn't get into eggnog before I stopped drinking dairy, so I've only ever had the non-dairy shit, and it's great. Like, I love it. It's such a nice treat. It's so fun that it's like the cold, rich beverage for the holidays.
Sure.
It's made out of it's insane. It's absolutely insane making it because I believe it is mostly raw egg and cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an insane beverage, and I think everyone should really indulge in it this holiday season.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Morgan, do you have a recommendation for us?
Yeah, I'm going to recommend the 1998 body horror film Disembodied. This is a film that I don't think a lot of people have really heard of. I mean, I hadn't heard of it until very recently. It only has 96 reviews on Letterboxd, if that's any sort of indication. It is a direct-to-video amateur horror film. It is about a disaffected goth girl who has a growth on her cheek that she shoots digestive fluid out of because she has to eat people to sustain the parasite which has replaced her brain and her skull. And the film is called Disembodied because her living brain is kept attached to a machine in a jar on her bedside table. It is one of the most visually creative and inventive horror movies I've seen in a long time. The only way I could really think to describe it is like a David Cronenberg script filmed inside of an Oingo Boingo music video.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm getting the vibe.
It has a very distinct, almost expressionist style of deliberately artificial set design and such. And the content of it is about this woman and her disembodied brain and her like digesting people and popping out these weird brain pods and also kind of having a lesbian relationship with her roommate. And it's just very genuine and enthusiastic and like very well realized and ambitious, but also has a lot of quirks that you could only get from someone who's clearly an amateur filmmaker. But I think this is like the only thing these people made, which is a shame because it's so good. It's so good. I think it is currently streaming on America's sweetheart Tubi, the free streaming service. So I illegally should not recommend just going on Tubi with an ad blocker, but that would be one way to watch the 1998 film Disembodied in an accessible manner.
For sure. No, wow, that sounds like a time.
It's really good.
Yeah. Well, Morgan, as always, it has been a fucking delight having you on.
Thanks for having me on every couple weeks to drop a 2 hour and 10 minute episode into people's feeds.
It's always a treat. Look, it's not for them, it's for us.
Sure. Most of all, it's for John. Thank you, Mr. Kramer. We love your movies.
Well, Morgan, though, do you have anything you would like to plug for us tonight?
Ooh, yeah, I have my Twitter, which I rarely use. It's at CurseGoat. I do emoji podcasting with Sylvie on Emoji Drome. It is kind of on hiatus at the moment because Sylvie is experiencing a lot of laptop troubles at the moment, but we're probably going to get back to that pretty soon. I have my writing, which you can find linked through my Twitter, but a lot of it is on hyperrealfilm.club, where I have a few articles coming out. I have a more extensive breakdown of my terror at the Matrix 40X experience that's supposed to come out sometime soon. And I have a top 10 list, which unfortunately I submitted before I saw the new Matrix, because that would definitely be on there. But other than that, it's just some cool movies I watched this year. I think that's it. My letterbox, I think, is at Sewer Peak, Peak. So if y'all have anything to promo, go ahead and play us out.
Sure. Well, you can find me basically just on Twitter at Blair Kitsch, posting and talking and chatting. So see me do those things there as well as here. Sarah, why don't you round it off with all of your generous list of plugs?
Yeah, I in the interim, because I wasn't busy enough before, I decided to start a new fucking podcast. It's called Forward ReZero. It's a ReZero rewatch podcast that I do with my girlfriend Neve and friend of the show Morg. We're just watching the anime ReZero, which I have a deep fondness for, as discussed multiple times on this podcast. Not this episode, but this podcast overall. Noisepace.xyz for that. You might have a bit of a hard time finding that one on podcatchers, because we kind of named it in the most nightmarish way possible for searching, because we titled it FWD:/FWD:/RE:0.
It's a good bit. The album art is also really good.
Thank you. I love the album art came out so good. You can find us on if you want to we have the RSS feed on our Twitter or something. You can find it, at FWD:/FWD:/REZERO. The other podcast I do is Special Grade Snacks. Movies coming out in 2 days as the time of recording. The Jujutsu Kaisen movie is coming out soon. So depending on when we get a cam rip or a very legal upload of that, because as far as I know, there's no plans to release it in the United States currently. So depending on all that, you will get a new episode of that. The Wonder Yerks Animorphs podcast that I do with Blair and friend Seda. I think that's everything. Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. You can, but that hasn't updated in 4 months, 5 months. It's foggy. We've been busy.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya, SUNHETZHENYA. Our music is typically provided by the aforementioned Seda, who makes music as people you meet outside of bars. Go to gaygothvibes.online for more of their stuff. But this episode will have had a very special theme song done by friend of the pod, Maxie Satan, at Max Knightley, spelled KNIGHTLEY on Twitter, or pastelhandgrenade.bandcamp.com.
I do want to promo. I was on their video game movie podcast recently. We talked about the first Resident Evil film.
Oh, fun.
I think it's Video Game the Movie the podcast, if I'm remembering correctly.
That's everything. Until next time,
that is
I'm
fabulous.
Sarah.
I have been Blair.
I'm Morgan.
And remember,
you can put a fucked up gay little puppet anywhere.
Good night, everyone.
Yay, Billy.
Yay, Billy.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You have to record your next Saw-themed episode of your horror podcast in under 1 hour. We're dead, dude. Just fucking blow it. Just pull the trigger, man.